Ibaro karuna koro Vaishnava Goswami Ibara karuna karo Vaishnava Goswami Patita pavana toma bine kehana Jaharani kate gile papa dure ja Emanadayana Prabhu Kibakotapa Gangara Parashahili Pachate Pavana Dashani Pavitra Koro Ito Maraguna Haristani Aparadi Hari Hari Na Tomasane Aparade Nahi Paritam Tumara Hridayi Sada Govinda Vishram Govinda kahina mora Vaishnava para Prati janme kari asha Tarani raduli Narotame karadaya apanarabali Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Das Thakur ki jai. We'll read the translation. O Vaishnava Goswami, please be merciful to me now. There is no one except you who can purify the fallen souls.
Where does anyone find such a merciful personality by whose mere audience all sins go far away?
After bathing in the waters of the sacred Ganges many times, one becomes purified. But just by the sight of you, the fallen souls are purified. This is your great power.
The holy name delivers one who has committed an offense to Lord Hari, but if one commits an offense to you, there is no means of deliverance.
Your heart is always the resting place of Lord Govinda, and Lord Govind says, the Vaishnavas are in my heart.
I desire the dust of your holy feet in every birth I may take. Please consider Narottam yours and be kind upon him.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudidayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah Nama Pankajanaಭಾಯ Nama Pankajamaline Nama Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangre. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Granthara Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, first canto, entitled as creation. We are reading 19th chapter, the chapter name entitled as the appearance of Sukadeva Goswami. Text 25. Please repeat after me. Tatra abhavad Bhagavan Vyasaputraha Yadrichaya Gam Atamanaha Anapekshaha Alaksha Lingaha Nijalabha Tushtaha Ritaha Cha Balai Avaduta Veshaha Tatra Bhavad Bhagavan Vyasaputro यदृच्छया गामतमानोऽनपेक्षः अलक्षलिङ्गो निजलाभतुष्टो वृतश्च बालैरवधूतवेषः तत्र भवद्भगवान् व्यासपुत्रो यदृच्छया गामतमानोऽनपेक्षः अलक्षलिङ्गो निजलाभतुष्टो वृतश्च बालैरवधूतवेषः तत्र भवद्भगवान् व्यासपुत्रो यदृच्छया गामतमानोऽनपेक्षः अलक्षलिङ्गो निजलाभतुष्टो वृतश्च बालैरवधूतवेषः. Please recite. Mataji's. Word to word meaning, translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Tatra, there, Abhavat, appeared, Bhagavan, powerful, Vyasaputraha, son of Vyasadeva, Yadrichaya, as one desires, Gam, the earth, Patamanaha, while traveling, Anapekshaha, disinterested, Alaksha, unmanifested, Lingaha, symptoms, Nijalabha, self-realized, Tustaha, satisfied, Vritaha, surrounded, Cha, and Balai, by children, Avaduta, neglected by others, Veshaha, dressed. Translation. At that moment there appeared the powerful son of Vyasadeva, who travelled over the earth, disinterested and satisfied with himself. He did not manifest any symptoms of belonging to any social order or status of life. He was surrounded with women and children, and he dressed as if others had neglected him. Purport. The word Bhagavan is sometimes used in relation with some of the great devotees of the Lord, like Sukadeva Goswami. Such liberated souls are disinterested in the affairs of this material world because they are self-satisfied by the great achievements of devotional service. As explained before, Sukadeva Goswami never accepted any formal spiritual master, nor did he undergo any formal reformatory performances. His father Vyasadeva was his natural spiritual master because Sukadeva Goswami heard Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam from him. After this, he became completely self-satisfied. Thus, he was not dependent on any formal process. The formal processes are necessary for those who are expected to reach the stage of complete liberation. But Sri Sukadeva Goswami was already in that status by the grace of his father. As a young boy, he was expected to be properly dressed, but he went about naked and was uninterested in social customs. He was neglected by the general populace, and inquisitive boys and women surrounded him as if he were a madman. He thus appears on the scene while traveling on the earth of his own accord. It appears that, upon the inquiry of Maharaja Pariksit, the great sages were not unanimous in their decision as to what was to be done. For spiritual salvation, there were many prescriptions according to the different modes of different persons. But the ultimate aim of life is to attain the highest perfectional stage of devotional service to the Lord. As doctors differ, so also sages differ in their different prescriptions. While such things were going on, the great and powerful son of Vyasadeva appeared on the scene. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Gurun Sriyuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunadanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitam Cha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesa Sunyavadi Pachatade Satarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshabhanave Deve Daitaya Kripabde Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayane Prabhave Nama Madhuryojvala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktidam Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddhapa Siddhanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralamba Rasambode Padambujayate Nama Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumyestvam Nirdishta Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarvoma Sri Jagannadayate Nama Vansha Kalpatarubhyacha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Namah Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhaktashaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Jaitam Surato Pangor Mama Manda Matirgasi Masarvasya Padam Bojo Radha Madana Mohano Divya Vrindaranya Kalpadumadaha Śrīmad Ratnagara Simhasanasto Śrīmad Radha Śrīla Govinda Devo Preshtalibi Sevyamano Smarami Śrīman Rasa Rasarambi Vamshi Vata Tatastita Karshan Venur Svanir Gopir Gopinada Sri Sunaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktaranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna. I seek the blessings of all the Vaishnavas for that Shri Radha Madhava may be pleased, all the Vaishnavas may be pleased. We will hear the glories of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. We all are reciting every day Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam. What does it mean? It says Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Before reciting this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, I should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Naranarayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of fortune, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. So we will hear more verses. Muneya sadhu prishtoham bhavadbhi lokamangalam yatkrita Krishna samprashno yenatma suprasidati. O sages, I have been justly questioned by you. Your questions are worthy because they relate to Lord Krishna and so are of relevance to the world's welfare. Only questions of this sort are capable of completely satisfying the self. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radokshaje ahetuki apratihata ye atma suprasiddhati. The supreme occupation, dharma, for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendent Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Yadahaitukam. By rendering devotional service unto Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. Dharma svanustita pumsam vikshvakshena kathasuya notpadayed ratim shramaeva hi kevalam. The occupational activities a man performs according to his own position are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of the personality of Godhead. Dharma hi apavargasya dharmasya apavargasya narto artayupakalpate nardasya dharmaikantasya kamo labhaya smrita. All occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, according to sages, one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. Kamasya nendriya pritir labho jiveta yavata jivasya tattva jijnasa narto yasceha karmabhi. Life's desires should never be directed toward sense gratification. One should desire only a healthy life or self-preservation, since a human being is meant for inquiry about the absolute truth. Nothing else should be the goal of one's works. Vadanti tattva vidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti sajjate. Learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth call this non-dual substance Brahman, Paramatma or Bhagavan. Tatshraddhana munayo jnana vairagya yuktaya pashyanti atmani chatmanam bhaktya shuta grihitaya. The seriously inquisitive student or sage, well equipped with knowledge and detachment, realizes that absolute truth by rendering devotional service in terms of what he has heard from the Vedanta Shruti. Ata pumbir divya shrestha varnashrama vibhagasha swanusti sasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. Or based among the twice born, it is therefore concluded that the highest perfection one can achieve by discharging the duties prescribed for one's own occupation according to caste divisions and orders of life is to please the personality of Godhead. Tasmadekena manasa Bhagavan satvatam pati Shotavya kirtitavyascha dheya pujyascha nityada. Therefore, with one pointed attention, one should constantly hear about, glorify, remember, and worship the personality of Godhead, who is the protector of the devotees. Yad anudyasina yukta karma gandhi nibandhanam chindanti kovidastasya kuna kudyat kataratim. With sword in hand, intelligent men cut through the binding knots of reactionary work, karma, by remembering the personality of Godhead. Therefore, who will not pay attention to his message? Shushrusho Shaddadanasya Vasudeva Kataruchi Sanmahasevaya Vipra Punyatirtha Nishevanad. O twice born sages, by serving those devotees who are completely free from all vice, great service is done. By such service, one gains affinity for hearing the messages of Vasudeva. Shunvatan Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridayantasto Hyabhadrani Vidunoti Surusatam. Sri Krishna is the Paramatma in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee cleanses the desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes on the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And loving service unto Krishna, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Tada rajastamo bhava kamalo bhadayachaye chetayete rana vidyam stitam sattve prasidati. As soon as irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, the effects of modes of passion, natures of modes of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankering disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in goodness and he becomes completely happy. Evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogata bhagavad tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate. Thus established in the mode of unalloyed goodness, the man whose mind has been enlivened by the contact with devotional service to the Lord gains positive scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from all material association. Vidyate hridaya grandhi chidyante sarva samshaya kshiyante chasya karmani drishtaye vatmanishvare. Thus the knot in the heart is pierced and all misgivings are cut to pieces. The chain of fruitive action is terminated when one sees the self as master. Ato vai kavayo nityam bhaktim paramaya muda vasudeve bhagavati kurvanti atma prasadanim. Certainly therefore, since time immemorial, all transcendentalists have been rendering devotional service to Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, with great delight, because such devotional service is enlightening to the self. So one of the transcendentalists is Srila Sukadeva Goswami. So he was a jnani, he was a impersonalist in the initial stages, but when he heard, when he was in the womb of mother, he was for 16 years he was in the womb of his mother. Mother was feeling very difficult because he was still in the womb, he was not coming out. So Srila Vyasadeva says, my dear son, please come out. Illusion, Maya will not catch you. Then Sukadeva Goswami says, no, you are householders, they speak so many things, but still I will not come. Then still Vyasadeva requests, so he comes out, but as soon as he comes out, he starts running. He doesn't hear his mother, father. So Srila Vyasadeva sends his disciples to go and recite 2 verses. So we will see what are those 2 verses. By hearing those 2 verses, Srila Sukadeva Goswami, he becomes more enthusiastic. Before that he was Atmaram, he is self-satisfied, but he finds something beyond that also. Something is more enthusing him, not just self-satisfaction, more than that. So there are 2 verses which disciples of Srila Vyasadeva recites. Barha Pidam Natavara Vapu. We will read that. Barha Pidam Natavara Vapu Karnayo Karnikadam. You want to show the verse? 10th canto, 21st chapter, 5th verse. You got it? Barhapidam natavadavapu karnayo karnikaram bibradvasakanakakapisham vaijayanti chamalam randran veno radaras sudaya purayan gopavrindair vrindaranyam sapadaramanam pravishad gita kirti. Wearing a peacock feather ornament upon his head, blue karnikara flowers on his ears, a yellow garment as brilliant as gold, and the Vaijayanti garland, Lord Krishna exhibited his transcendental form as the greatest of dancers as he entered the forest of Vrindavan, beautifying it with the marks of his footprints. He filled the holes of his flute with the nectar of his lips, and the cowherd boys sang his glories. This is one of the verses. Another verse is Aho Bakiyam yes, it's mentioned in 3rd canto, 2nd chapter, 23rd verse. Right? 3rd canto. Aho bakiyam stanakalakutam jigamashayapayayad apis asadvi lebe gatim datre uchitam tatonyam kamvadayalum sharanam vrajema. Alas, how shall I take shelter of one more merciful than he who granted the poison of mother to a she-demon, Putana, although she was unfaithful and she prepared deadly poison to be sucked from her breast. So Srila Sukadeva Goswami heard these two verses and he comes back again and he hears more from his father, Srila Vyasadeva. That's how Srila Vyasadeva becomes his natural spiritual master. That's what is mentioned in purport. So the purport says, Vyasadeva was his natural spiritual master because Sukadeva Goswami heard Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam from him. After this he became completely self-satisfied, thus he was not dependent on any formal process. The formal process are necessary for those who are expected to reach the stage of complete liberation. But Sri Sukadeva Goswami was already in that status by the grace of his father. So hearing of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is also devotional service. See, like there are some Smarta Brahmanas, they say that you have to take birth in Brahmana family to purify all your existence. So all these reformatory processes are for what? Meant for what? For purifying our existence. Because we are carrying so much karma. Like one person is born in Brahmana family means what? In his last life, he must have performed some Brahmanical activities. That's how we got birth in Brahman family. And if someone has born in some low class family, that means he must have done some low class activities in his last life. So the Brahmanas say that you have to purify your existence. That means those who are born in Brahmana family, they are impure. It's not that they are pure. They are impure. So they are impure. That's why all these reformatory processes are there to purify their existence. Not that after birth, even the birth, before birth also one has to start purifying. That's why there is something called Garbhadana Samskara. To get a nice child. So birth has to be purified before one gets birth. Once he gets birth, there is something called Nama Samskar. So name giving ceremony. Like that there are even marriage ceremony. There are so many processes. Upanayana Samskara. So when one is in Upanayana Samskara is done, that means he is ready to go back to Godhead. That is a Upanayana Samskara. So all these purificatory processes are mentioned, but they are all material. They are not spiritual. But if one is engaged in devotional service, that itself is a complete purification. Even if one is born in a low class family, when a Chandala, when scripture says it's not that by birth one can become a Brahmana or Vaishnava, it's by the divine qualities. So one can become purified by taking directly to the process of devotional service. One can become completely purified of all contamination, because devotional service itself is so potent that it can purify one's own existence, and it can take us to the highest realm of the world, that is called Golok Vrindavan. But we see here Sukadeva Goswami has not accepted any formal purificatory process because he is already on the stage of liberation. But when he heard about Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, he got attracted to Krishna. Like society may perform dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Their goal may be moksha, liberation. Because ultimately, a gnani has to wait for his body, wait to leave his body to merge into the Brahman. Even yogis, they may have so many siddhis, but they have to wait to leave their bodies, material bodies. Even bhaktas, they also have to wait to leave their material bodies and to go and reunite with Krishna in the spiritual world and to again engage in devotional service. Now we see Sukadeva Goswami, but he was a gnani, but he became a devotee by hearing about Krishna. So unless one gets attracted to Krishna, he has to again come back again and again. So one has to get attracted to the message of Krishna. Till the time one gets attracted to Krishna, there is no possibility for him to go back to Godhead. So one has to get attraction to Krishna. So we see here Sukadeva Goswami, he was, as a young boy, was expected to be properly dressed, but he went about naked and was uninterested in social customs. Like we see, he's not you don't find him even a brahmachari. He's looking like a brahmachari because he's not wearing any clothes or not even a kopin. You don't find him as a gruhastha. There's no question of gruhastha or vanaprastha. Either he looks like sannyasi. So he's something beyond all these social customs. What do we call? Varnas and ashramas. It's beyond that. That's why it's mentioned here as avaduta is avaduta. So, like when the sages were assembled, Pariksit Maharaj came there, and Sukadeva Goswami, when he came, all the sages got up and they paid their respects. But the sages before that, they were suggesting different processes for self-realization. Somebody is suggesting you do yagnas. Some sages are suggesting you do dan karo. Some sages are suggesting to do ashtanga yogas. Some sages are suggesting to do karma kanda, yagnas. So like that they were giving different processes, just like it's mentioned here, just like a doctor differs in their prescription. Like one time I got so much fever, I went to some hospital nearby. They wrote some medicine, but the treatment, the fever didn't go down. Again I was taken to some other hospital. That doctor gave some other medicine, something completely new medicine. Just like that, the doctor differ in their prescriptions. Similarly, the sages were also giving the different solutions for self-realization. But when Sukadeva Goswami comes, he speaks about Krishna. He speaks about Krishna. So it's mentioned the glory of devotional service. Ultimate aim of life is to attain the highest perfection stage of devotional service to the Lord. Highest perfection of life it is. So he is Atmaram. This is very nice words. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recites to Srila Sanatana Goswami, even in before this, even just like Sukadeva Goswami is uninterested, it's mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Even Srila Sarup Damodar, he was also beyond sannyasi. He was like Babaji. He was in the Vesha of Babaji. Although he is a completely liberated soul, he is associate of Lord Chaitanya, but he is wearing just white clothes, and Babaji and is serving Lord Chaitanya. So although he's on that platform, but he's not showing that Vesha of a sannyasi or any belong to any four varnas or ashramas. Like we all heard this verse. It's very famous verse. Whole world knows this verse in all ISKCON centers. Shuta uvacha atma ramascha munayo nirgrandha piurukrame kurvanti haitu kim bhaktim ittam bhuta guno hari. Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu repeats the same thing to Srila Sanatana Goswami. This verse is mentioned even in Bhagavatam. All different varieties of Atma Ramas. Atma Rama means those who take pleasure in the Atma or spirit self, especially those established on the path of self-realization. Though free from all kinds of material bondage, desire to render unalloyed devotional service unto the personality of Godhead. This means the Lord possesses transcendental qualities and therefore can attract everyone, including liberated souls. And just like Chatuskumaras, by smelling tulsi leaves and some sandalwood paste, they get attracted to Krishna. Even Rukmini Devi, she gets attracted to Krishna when she hears about Krishna's pastimes. Even Lakshmi Devi, she gets attracted to serve Lord Narayan, massaging all the time. So Krishna's bodily features attracts all jivas. He can attract everyone, including even liberated souls. Just like here is mentioned, Sukadeva Goswami, he got attracted to Krishna when he heard about Krishna's beauty. Barha Pidam, Varvapun, something like that. So he got attracted to Krishna when he heard the bodily features of Krishna, how he looks. You can see here. So much nice description is given for this word. One word is called Atma Rama in this. So there are 10 meanings are given for Atma Rama. We all know Atma means we say mind, some like body and soul. So there are 10 meanings which says Atma Rama. Atma Rama, Atma. Atma Rama, Atma. One meaning is that Brahman, the absolute truth. You all know absolute truth means Krishna. Absolute truth means Krishna. Initial days I was thinking, what is absolute truth? What is absolute truth? So after reading so many verses, and Prabhupada mentions that absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is Krishna. Atma, another meaning is mind, and also means intelligence, and also means personal habits, it's mentioned, and also endeavor and endurance. So like that there are 10 synonyms, it's 10 synonyms we say for Atma. So it's a nice verse, you can all go through this once the Bhagavatam class gets over. So here there is another word is mentioned, here is Hari. We hear every day Hari, Hari, right? So the word Hari conveys various meanings, but the chief important of the word in that is that the Lord vanquishes everything inauspicious. It's very important line, you all can hear very attentively. The Lord vanquishes everything inauspicious and takes away the mind of the devotee by awarding pure transcendental love. By remembering the Lord in acute distress, one can be freed from all varieties of miseries and anxieties. Gradually, the Lord vanquishes all obstacles on the path of devotional service of pure devotee. And the result of 9 devotional activities such as hearing and chanting becomes manifested. Takes away the mind of devotee by awarding pure devotional service. There is one devotee, his name is Vamshidas Babaji Maharaj. He is from Bengal. So one person asked, I want to see Bhagavan. So he was behind him all the time. One time directly he wanted to ask this question to that Vamshidas Babaji Maharaj. So he goes, and then one day he goes directly to his kutir and he asks, I want to see Bhagavan, I want to see Bhagavan. Then Vamshidas Babaji Maharaj says, you want to see Bhagavan? Then you have to weep constantly. He says that. So somebody may think in initial days of Srila Prabhupada, there were many people who are criticizing Srila Prabhupada that you are giving sannyasam or you are making Malachas into Vaishnavas. It's a duty of a Brahmanas, but Prabhupada is doing. Actually, it's the duty of the Brahmanas to preach Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, but Srila Prabhupada is doing and they are criticizing. So one time one person asked, Srila Prabhupada is telling first class is Vaishnavas, something like the Brahmanas, Vaishyas, Sudras. Then one person asked, Swamiji, which category do you belong to? Then Srila Prabhupada with great humility says, I belong to 5th class. I'm the servant of all these classes of men. It doesn't show it doesn't show that he belong to any of these four orders or varnas. Even the same Vamshidas Babaji Maharaj, one time, one person, I didn't hear it clearly whether it's from Shiva Vaishnava Sampradaya or not, but he says, Swamiji, Vamshidas Babaji Maharaj, do you belong to which Sampradaya of four Sampradayas? Because there are only four Sampradayas for achieving the highest perfection of life. Then Vamshidas Babaji Maharaj says, I don't belong to any of these Sampradayas, he says. I don't belong to any Sri or any Sampradayas. He was shocked. Then Vamshidas Babaji Maharaj says, I belong to 5th class. I'm servant of all these four Sampradayas, he says. So they don't identify as belonging to any of these Varnas or Ashramas. They are beyond that. They are associates of the Lord. So today is very auspicious day for many acharyas. Appearance day is there. So we will read some pastimes. We can pray for them for their mercy. Today is the appearance of Radha Kund. We will hear even in Nectar of Instruction there is a verse. It says, we'll read that verse. Very special verse. So it's one. There are 11 verses how to reach the Krishna Prem. So first it starts from Vacho Vegam. Everything. If you don't follow these things, then it's very difficult to come to the platform of getting Krishna Prem. Vacho, it starts from Vacho Vegam. So we all are here to practice all these things: Vacho Vegam, Manasa Vegam, Krodha Vegam, Jiva Vegam. So when one starts following these instructions, like how to execute devotional service with devotees, exchanging love, offering gifts, accessing. So like that, so 11th word, last verse of Nectar of Instruction by Sukadeva Goswami says, Krishna Shochai Pranaya Vasati Preyasi Byopi Radha Kundam Chasya Muni Virabitas Tadruk Eva Vyadayi Et Preshtairapi Alamasulabam Kim Punar Bhakti Bhajam Tat Premedam Sakrudapi Sarasnatur Avishkaroti. Of the many objects of favor, delight, and of all the lovable damsels of Rajabhumi, Srimad Radharani is certainly the most treasured object of Krishna's love. And in every respect, her divine Kund is described by great sages as similarly dear to him. Undoubtedly, Radha Kund is very rarely attained even by the great devotees. Therefore, it is even more difficult for ordinary devotees to attain. If one simply bathes once within those holy waters, one's pure love of Krishna is fully aroused. So we will read more about Sri Radha Kund. Sri Radha Kund. After killing of Arishtasur, Srimati Radhika and her Sakhis exchanged many joking words with Sri Krishna concerning the necessary atonement for one who has committed the offense of killing a bull. As a result, the Queen of Vrindavan, Srimati Radhika and her Sakhis joyfully excavated and filled Sri Radha Kund with their own hands. May that immensely fragrant Radha Kund be my shelter. In the land of the hearts of those who bathe in Radha Kund, a desire tree of the superlative prema, which is not attainable even for Krishna's principal queens in Dwaraka, will arise. May that supremely charming Radha Kunda be my shelter. For the pleasure of Srimati Radhika, even Sri Krishna himself, yearning to attain her merciful sidelong glance, regularly bathes in Radha Kund, carefully observing all appropriate rituals. May that supremely enchanting Radha Kunda be my shelter. It looks like it is Radha Kunda Ashtakam. May that supremely enchanting Radha Kund, which the moon of Raja, Sri Krishna loves as much as he loves the crown jewel among the sweet girls of Raja, Srimati Radhika, and which he has made known by the name of Radhika herself, be my shelter. The mercy obtained by serving Radha Kund makes the desired creeper of prema for the prince of Raja sprout and is celebrated for bearing the flower of service to my Swamini Srimati Radhika. May that supremely charming Radha Kund be my shelter. Gloriously manifest on the banks of Radha Kund are 8 kunjas named after Radhika's principal Sakhis, acting as stimuli for the amorous pastimes of the divine couple. These kunjas are filled with the sweet humming of bumblebees and are desired by everyone. May that supremely enchanting Radha Kund be the shelter of my life. Situated on an inquisitive dais on the bank of Radha Kund and accompanied by our beloved Sakhis, our Swamini, Srimati Radhika charmingly engages in sweet joking words with Sri Krishna, the moon of Vraja. These playful verbal exchanges are enhanced by the suggestion of so many innocent days. May that Radhakunda be the shelter of my life. May that very charming and especially fragrant Radhakund, where intoxicated with love, the divine couple and the Sakis daily sport with great joy in the water so fragrant, with exquisite lotus flowers, with the sole shelter of my life. So this is a Radhakunda Ashtakam, the glories of Srimati, is written by Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami ki. So today is also Shri Balaram Rasa Yatra. So Krishna performs Rasa Leela of two varieties, one in autumn season and one in the spring season. On Vaishaka Purnima, Balaram also performs Rasa dance at this time. In order to keep the gopis in Vrindavan satisfied, Lord Balaram stayed there continually for 2 months, namely the months of Chaitra and Vaishaka. For those 2 months, he kept himself among the gopis and he passed every night with them in the forest of Vrindavan in order to satisfy their desire for conjugal love. Thus, Balaram also enjoyed the Rasa dance with the gopis during those 2 months. So today is the appearance day of Shri Vamshivadan Thakur. He appeared on the full moon day of month of Chaitra. Within Kulia exist the villages Tegari, Bachiava, Bedrapura and Chinedanga. It's all new names we never heard. The sons of Srikara Chattopadhyay moved from Bilvagram to Bechiyanagram. Shri Yudhishthir Chattopadhyay had 3 sons, Madhavadas, Shri Haridas and Shri Krishna Sampati. When Mahaprabhu came from Puri to have darshan of his mother and the river Ganges, he stayed for 7 days in the house of Madhavadas at Kulia. This time he excused Devananda Pandit along with all of the offences of everyone else. Therefore the place came to be known as Aparada Banjanpat. Shri Vamshi Thakur appeared in the home of Shri Madhavadas. His mother's name was Srimati Chandrakala Devi. Vamsi Vadananda is the incarnation of Sri Krishna's flute. On the day of his birth, Mahaprabhu was present in the house of Sri Madhavadas along with Sri Advaita Acharya. Madhava was very devoted to Mahaprabhu and Prabhu was also very affectionate to him and his son Vamshi. Vamshi Das was present at Navadip when Acharya Prabhu came there. Vamshi was engaged in the service of Vishnupriya and was a receptacle of her unlimited mercy. One time Vishnupriya Devi and Vamshi Thakur decided to give up taking food and water, there not being any point in maintaining their bodies, which were so racked with the pain of separation from Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, however, didn't approve of this and manifested himself before them. Then he requested them not to behave so rashly and then instructed them both to worship his deity form in order to mitigate their feelings of separation. So if somebody is getting such kind of stage of life, so we can follow Vamshivadan Thakur and Vishnupriya Devi by worshipping our Gaur Nitai. So today is also the appearance day of Shri Shyamananda Prabhu. Shri Shyamananda made his appearance at Odisha in the village of Dharendra Bahadurpur. His father's name was Sri Krishna Mandal and his mother's name was Sri Durika. Sri Krishna Mandal had many sons and daughters who unfortunately passed away before the birth of this son. For this reason, this son was named Dukhiya. Everyone said that this child would be a very saintly person. The scholars were astounded to see his profound intellect. Within a short period, he completed his studies of grammar, poetry and rhetoric. His parents were overjoyed to see his talents and his religious proclivity. After having carefully listened to the glories of Gauranga and Nityananda from devotees, he was able to repeat them to others. When listening to the activities of Gaur Nitai or those of Radha Krishna, tears would flow in the waves from his eyes. He also devotedly served his parents and they told him to get initiated so that he could fully commit himself to the service of the Lord. Dukhi agreed and told them that he wished to take Diksha from Hriday Chaitanya, the disciple of Gauridas Pandit. His parents happily gave him permission to go there. When Dukhi arrived in Ambika Kalna, he threw himself at the feet of Hridaya Chaitanya, who upon learning his identity, happily gave him Krishna mantra and named him Krishna Das. Hridaya Chaitanya ordered him to go to Vrindavan to study the literatures of the under the tutelage of Srila Jiva Goswami. Krishnadas bowed his head in assent, and on an auspicious day he set out for the holy Dham. In Vrindavan, Krishnadas studied the Vaishnava scriptures under Srila Jiva Goswami, who was the leading scholar of the Sampradaya. Krishnadas very carefully began to serve Jiva Goswami as well as study the literatures of the Goswamis. Srinivasa Acharya and Narottam Das Thakur also came to Sri Jiva at this time to study under him. Thus Krishnadas had the opportunity to meet them. Krishnadas requested Srila Jiva Goswami for a special service. Srila Jiva instructed him to sweep the forest grove of Sevakunj every day. From that day, he began to carry out this service with great pleasure. He felt that his life had become successful. One day, Krishnadas was sweeping the Rasa Mandala in Vrindavan, absorbed in ecstatic trance. Suddenly, by Sri Radharani's transcendental mercy, he found her ankle bracelet lying on the ground. In his excitement, he touched the ankle bracelet to his forehead, where it left a mark. It is known as Nupur Tilak. While in Vrindavan, Krishnadas was given the name Shyamanand because he brought great joy to Shyamsundar. Jiva Goswami sent Srinivasa Acharya, Narottam Das Thakur and Shyamananda back to Bengal with the Vaishnava scriptures. But the books were stolen by the Decod king. There Srinivasa Acharya Prabhu remained behind to recover the books, while Narottam continued onwards. Keturi and Shyamananda proceeded to Ambika, Kalna. Arriving there, Shyamananda paid his obeisances to his guru, and Sri Hridaya Chaitanya Prabhu embraced him and inquired about the well-being of the Goswamis of Vrindavan. Shyamananda served the lotus feet of his guru in great happiness, and in this way passed his days. At this time, most of the devotees of Lord Chaitanya in Odisha had all left the planet. Thus the preaching of Mahaprabhu's teachings had all but come to a halt. Hridaya Chaitanya Prabhu considered this a very serious problem and finally instructed Shyamananda Prabhu to go there to carry on the preaching of Mahaprabhu's mission. Shyamananda set out for Orissa. After entering Odisha, he first went to his birthplace at Darendra, Bahadurpur. From there he came to Dandeshwar, where his father Shri Krishna Mandala previously resided. By the auspicious arrival of Shyamananda Prabhu in Utkala, the teachings of Mahaprabhu revived. On the banks of the Suvarna Rekha river lived one pious and devoted landlord by the name Sri Achyuta Dev. His only son was called Rasik. From his very childhood, Rasik was very devoted to Krishna. As he gradually attained the appropriate age, his father engaged some pandits to see his education. However, he didn't have much regard for his material knowledge. He had already ascertained that the great goal in life is in devotion to Lord Hari. Rasik became anxious to take shelter at the lotus feet of a bona fide spiritual master. One day, as he was sitting alone, contemplating on this subject, when Rasik heard a divine voice, "Rasik, don't be in anxiety anymore. Very soon, a very great personality of the name Shyamananda will arrive here. Just take shelter of his lotus feet." Hearing this, Rasika was encouraged and took continually waiting and watching for the arrival of Prabhu Shyamanand. After a few days, Shyamananda Prabhu, accompanied by his disciples, came to the village of Rohini. Shyamananda Prabhu initiated Rasika. Many people of Rohini also became disciples of Shyamananda Prabhu. From here, Sri Shyamananda Prabhu went to Sri Narsimhapur, where many atheists lived. But when Shyamananda stayed a few days, these atheists got the chance to hear these nectarian talks, which melted their hard hearts in love for Krishna. Thus, in this place also he gained many disciples. Day by day, the glories of Shyamananda spread throughout Utkala Desh. From Narsimhapur, he came to Gopi Ballapur. Here again, many well-to-do people were attracted to his lotus feet and so took shelter there. The people here especially requested him to install the Shri Vigraha of Radha Krishna. Thus, a temple for the deity was constructed. The greatness of Shyamananda became known throughout all of Orissa, and the worship of Shri Gaura Nityananda was inaugurated in many places. Shyamananda's disciples have established 5 principal seats in the towns of Darendra, Bahadurpura, Rayani, Gopi Vallapura and Nishingpura. So, what is the deity name of Shyamananda Prabhu? Worshipable deity? Shyamasundar, right? Shyamasundar. Shyamananda Prabhu's deity is Shyamasundar. So I thank you all very much. I just saw and read whatever it is there. So if you have any questions or comments or corrections, you can. Yes, bro. Siddhas Baba. That is different. Is different. Huh? Parampara. I don't know. There are so many mentions we can mention in the parampara. We cannot mention all of them. Prabhu, some. Chaitanya Prabhu. His question is that why his name is not mentioned in our parampara. Vamshivadan Thakur. Somebody knows, you can personally ask. We have so many exalted devotees here, like His Grace Radhakant Prabhu, some other devotees. You can personally go and ask. I am also very new. I am also reading slowly. Okay. We will end here. Grandhara Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.